everybody. Hope you're all doing alright.
No.
Appreciate the support on the
Really
series
is
so
you.
far.
You returned to us at last.
Yes.
Let's celebrate. You reclaim the throne. We'll rebuild. Me and you against the world. Huh? Just like the old days.
I'm not staying.
I don't understand. You're here. Maybe together we can take back what's ours.
I only just got back what's mine. I still have work to do.
You've seen what's left of the realm, right? Do we really mean that little to you?
You question my loyalty? Vanaheim turned its back on me.
Oh, you still can't let go of that old fight.
It was my duty to save as many of our people as possible. My responsibility. One you didn't take seriously then, and from the looks of it, one you don't now.
You think this is a game to me?
Yeah.
We lost everything to that maniac you called husband. The man's family set me on fire. How did you expect me to react?
Like my brother! Like the boy that used to have my back no matter what! And who I always supported no matter how selfish his choices. I expected you to come and find me. That no matter how hurt or angry, you wouldn't abandon me when I needed you the most.
Oh, I thought the people in the back were bad.
Freya,
Forgot.
please. I thought you were dead. I've had to live lifetimes with those last awful words I said to you. Have any idea what that's like? Knowing that your own selfishness hurt the person that you cared about the most. Abandon you. Oh, Freya. I mourned you. Oh, I've missed you so much.
And I, you, Yngvi. But I won't bind myself to another realm when I finally have my freedom. I'll send help, though. And I will come back. I promise.
This hasn't been your home for a long time, has it? Do what you gotta do.
All right, that's enough.
Brock!
Ain't y'all got nothing better to do than gawking at family sorting squabbles? Come on, you two. Not you. Got a few things to square with y'all. First is you collecting your spare heads. Second is that sigil magic I smell on your bow. Reckon that's an idea I'll steal. How's about I set you up with some sonic mojo? Call it a trade.
Very well.
Third of all, if you ain't staying here, bears mentioning that Sindri and I find ourselves running a flop house for unemployed gods. If you're done freezing your backside off in Midgard, maybe come back with Beardo there. Check up on your old pal Tyr.
That's kind of you, Brock. I may do just that.
Well, all right, then. I'll meet y'all back at the house. Unless you want me to fix anything up first.
Well, brother, here to meet our new allies, or shall we depart?
Excuse me, can you stop and help a lady out, please?
What is it?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time tinkering up and down the river delta. Once Odin's army came to town, I lit out of there faster than a tassel worm with its bottom ablaze. So frazzled, I accidentally left behind a few irreplaceables.
What? Irreplaceables?
Well, just one, really. An orb. I'd be mighty grateful if you would find it.
What is it?
And if you come across any of my old, beautifully rusted armor pieces, I'll use the scrap to whip up something specially suited just for you.
What is the orb?
Just bring it back here and you'll make me happy as a sunbeam. Oh, and don't forget to keep an eye out for my old armor. I'll fix it up for you, free of charge.
What sort of orb do you imagine we're looking for, brother?
I do not know.
May I ask, how did a traveler come to follow my brother?
I was broken when he found me. The truth was a lie. Lord Freyr put what was left of me back together. Give me something real to believe in.
That's Freyr, the Lord of Second Chances.
He saved me. He gave me a family, a purpose. And I will gladly die for both.
It's lucky to have you.
And Lady Freya?
Tell me about the camp dog.
Lord Freyr found her half dead in the jungle. She probably escaped the blood-thinner breeding far north of here. We all told him she was beyond saving. But he never gave up. She healed. She's pure. Even if you don't.
About time I had something to do.
Barehanded attacks, parrying and blocking have a high luck chance to do a bonus damage. That might be good, but I ain't gonna do it.
Let's make something then. After all this time, she's still abused. You still owe me the story of who made these things. No refunds. You won't get so much as a paper cut in that.
So I'd have to buy 3 of those?
Let's do it. And now talk for the goddess. Big man? Come back if you need more crap.
I remember where to look for a gateway. Follow me.
Well, you two seem to be getting on since completing your mission. Dare I hope this alliance has some staying power after all?
It seems to me we share a common enemy. Kratos, you may not accept that Ragnarok is inevitable, but you're smart enough to know Odin is a threat. Whatever comes next, our best chance of surviving it is to work together. Do you agree?
I do.
Then as to Brock's offer, you can imagine staying under the same roof as a couple former enemies? No further temptations towards terrible vengeance?
Not against you. Either of you. You have my word.
Sweet. Oh man, she has her own little skill set too. That's fire, bro. And I can change her armor, bro. Oh man, Freya's badass. I'm going straight Valkyrie with Freya.
This lock is different from others you might know. You'll need an enchantment on your chisel to use it.
Big Reese's Pieces. And would
Go
you all
ahead.
agree that Reese's
Carve the
Pieces are
letter.
better than whole Reese's Pieces cups? Or Reese Piece cups?
Suna.
It's an incantation. Al-Suna.
The elves in Bears can't mention the gate. It's an Alpine. Get on about some sacred light elf sanctum out past the Barrens.
A trip to Alfheim. Well, we can decide at the gateway. This boat should get us there if we can clear those vines. Remember what to do?
Somewhat.
There's a fallen log in the river. It has something on it I don't recognize. We're clear.
I think Freya is my
So
favorite
it's
character
true.
so far.
Tyr's really alive?
Aye. Not exactly shipshape. He sleeps in a broom closet now. But he's adjusting.
How did you find him?
Largely, that's down to Atreus having figured out how to access the prophecies giants reserve for their own kind. We only learned of it ourselves after Thor and Odin came calling.
To your home? Is it still standing?
Barely. But all the violence was seemingly just a distraction to let Odin have a private word with Atreus.
Odin was alone with your son? Did he tell you what they spoke of?
Yes. He said that Odin invited him to Asgard to help him find his answers.
The answers he's rushing into fate in search of. That's troubling. Well, if you're ready to talk to him, the Mystic Gateway is ahead. If not, I have some unfinished business up this river I could use your help with.
Or we can follow up on that elven sanctum out in Alfheim's desert.
If you want to continue exploring, we'll need to remove that log in the river.
What is this?
The crest of Skirnir. Never quite as smart as he thought.
What is this?
I don't know. But giants definitely crafted it. There's 2 wolves represented here. Perhaps a connection to our friends in the sky. A mystery. Good. We can explore the river now. And hopefully write some new poems.
What is your unfinished business?
I left something behind, near the falls.
Your wedding site. Now, why do you want to be going back there?
To be free of the bonds of my marriage. And to Asgard.
I think you severed that a long time ago.
Not completely. Not enough.
Guide us.
My people settled this river many ages ago. Thousands traveled it on pilgrimage to the shrine of worship. But then the Aesir came. This is all that's left. Astrid's garden. The wilds reclaimed it. It was beautiful once.
I'm looking for this orb first.
Waterfalls. We're close. There should be a gate up ahead.
That's quite a gate. Don't suppose you know a way through?
The Pilgrim Gate. I can open it. We just need to find the right vantage point.
Freya, there's something I've always wanted to ask. What was it Hrimthur whispered to you?
Who?
Hrimthur, the son of Thormur, the stonemason, who disguised himself and built Asgard's wall.
Let this wait. Stay alert.
Come on, boys, I came to whoop that ass.
Yeah, watch out! Above you! Watch out!
What utter foolishness.
Yeah.
My soul
That-
cannot rest until they are at rest.
Gunhild.
Time out, weirdo. One thing at a time. Is that Brock or Sindri over there?
Now, how do we get up there, I wonder?
We can't. Not with those vines in the way. Looks like that worked.
I think that's the orb. I may be wrong.
An armor piece bearing Lunda's brand. Shame it's broken. Nice bit of work otherwise.
Then why leave it?
You suspicious of her, brother?
If the orb she seeks is important, she would not have left it behind.
Perhaps.
Wait, what?
Sigil arrows won't work on this.
It's Brock.
You found some of my armor. I'll fix it up for you real good. We sure appreciate you finding my orb, though.
Working on it.
I am doing this for free and whatnot.
What's it say, brother?
And how is it you two know each other?
Nah, I can't be divulger in guild business. You gotta respect the secret, too, though.
I'm sorry?
Let's just say Brock and I have long enjoyed certain common interests.
That's right. Like getting us into trouble.
And getting you back out of it again.
What? Huh. That's only mostly true.
Okay, so does that answer your question?
Close enough.
Fine then.
Ah, that's it.
Time out.
Despite his actions in Midgard, Atreus does still care for you.
Actually, I'm not gonna do it. I don't know where the other one's going.
I raised a son, too. It may be hard to believe, but he was quite similar to Atreus at this age. He adored his father, always wanted to do right by him, and was constantly frustrated that no matter what he did, he never could seem to get his approval. He confided in me a lot, sought the comfort his father withheld. I wonder if your son could benefit from that, too.
He has befriended the other dwarf. The blue one's brother.
Oh. Well, if Sindri has that covered, I suppose there's no need for me in his life anymore, is there?
That is not what I meant.
That was sarcasm.
Freya, can't you remember anything about what Hrimthur the stonemason's son said to you after building Asgard's wall?
Oh, yes. One of the many occasions Odin saw fit to involve me in a wager without my consent. I wish I could say that was the worst of his husbandly habits.
What wager?
I've told this story, brother.
And now she may tell her own.
There isn't that much to tell. I knew nothing of it at first, surely because Odin didn't expect to lose the bet. A mysterious mason had to build the entire wall in 3 turns of the season.
2! It was 2!
And if he was late, he'd be owed nothing. But if he succeeded, he was promised an audience with the queen.
Set that aside for now. Come.
Patience is piety.
That brazier. Maybe it could help with those vines.
Let's see what this lady wants.
What is wrong?
Please, leave me to my dreams. I await Freya, the great healer.
I am here.
She will cure me. I have been a loyal follower. She would not abandon...
I am Freya. What do you need?
Only she can cure my sickness. With mangold, mire, and poem.
We must help her.
She demands a cure. She is dead.
She is trapped here, ignorant of her own death. If we bring her what she needs, she'll move on.
You're certain.
I'm not going to do nothing. She needs mangold, mire, and palm. We should find some. Well done. What did you find?
As you asked.
A Noken saw. Be wary.
Bruh.
What's your left? Did you recognize her? The sickly spirit?
No. There was a time I could recall the face of every one of my people, but sometimes I wonder if gods live too long.
I once felt the same.
Anything interesting, brother?
Could be useful. Looks like that worked. Well, that did it. That's everything I need. Let's return to the Sixth Spirit.
You would cure the dead.
I promised I would take care of my people.
You do not even remember her. Nor she you.
And?
Let us return to the spirit.
Get back!
Brother, I had a thought. What if we took a stealthy approach to our next battle?
No.
Have you finally...
We have collected the plans.
Could this be? I feel my vitality returning to me. I feel... Freya.
I am here.
I knew you would return. Even as the doubters cursed your name.
Thank you. But it's time to rest. You have earned it.
Thank you, my queen. I am tired indeed.
Shall we continue?
Yes.
Freya, can we return to your story of Hrimthur? You said if he built Asgard's wall in time, he was promised an audience with you.
Yes. Or so I learned one day when Odin burst into our bedchambers, raging and half-drunk before noon, telling me to get dressed and go see what the Mason wants. So, off I went, not knowing what had truly been promised or expected. Dagger stashed in my robe for emergency. And this Mason, this giant in disguise.
His name was Hrimthur.
He just smiled to see me. And as you said, he whispered in my ear.
Ah, but enough of that for now. Ready that shield!
Creatures weren't always this ravenous. The ecosystem, it's out of balance.
This mentions a spell that puts trolls to sleep, and a magic relic that acts as a sort of counter-spell.
All this desolation.
Astrid. No. Life returns to the garden. Good.
Spirit.
Freya, you returned.
Astrid, what happened to you? To your garden?
The anger. My life's work rotted. My monument to your glory reduced to this. I am sorry, my queen.
You need never apologize to me, old friend.
I swore to keep this garden in bloom until it returned. To live forever amongst its putrescence. A just punishment.
I will return, Astrid. Kratos, we purge this garden of poison.
Why?
The earth is a reflection of those who tend it. So long as the land is plagued, her soul will be as well. We have to destroy the totems. They're poisoning Astrid's garden.
I wonder what a good curl of your axe might use that flaming pot.
It's closed. The door's held shut by that counterweight. We lower it, the door will open.
When my garden blooms, so will my soul.
What's that? Break that chain, and it'll lower the counterweight. Those vines have grown through the window. Maybe we could get closer from the other side. Those vines. They're growing from that bridge.
What is it, Mimir?
That's nothing, brother. Just... You ever have those moments where you wish you could go back? Rewrite your own past, make different decisions?
Journeying through time is more trouble than it is worth.
Fair point. You're speaking metaphorically, right?
No.
Of course you're not. Getting back to your story, Freya. You granted an audience to Hrimthur after he finished building Asgard's wall. What at long last did he whisper to you?
Well?
No more for now. Focus.
See that explosive? Setting it off could help.
Ah, maybe you can hit it from a different angle.
I await the day when my garden grows again.
Oh, glad to see that still works. Looks like more of Lunda's old armor. Nearly have the complete set now.
Kratos, I see something.
Getting back to your story, Freya. You granted an audience to Hrimthur after he finished building Asgard's wall. What at long last did he whisper to you?
Well, he said the Aesir had killed his father, and he needed to know that one day they'd burn for it. I pointed out I was Aesir now too, technically. He gave me a look, as if he somehow knew better, and continued. He said he'd built in a structural flaw behind the Asgard realm tower.
I knew it! How do we make use of it? And we'll just stop there for now.
Such power.
What is wrong?
Say their magic corrupts so ruthlessly. Those poor souls must be in agony.
Then we shall give them death.
So, what's it like, being back?
Like I haven't come back at all. Everything's changed. I'm a stranger here.
I know the feeling.
The runic word appeared over there. See it? Mecking. We should be able to reach the wedding scene.
My friends' souls are still twisted, aren't they? Give them the freedom of death.
So I know where two are, I don't know where the third one is.
Must be safer this way. We'll need to find another way around.
Happy to repair my old armor for you. Hey, you happen to find my missing orb yet, though?
Excuse me.
Appreciate it.
No, I didn't want to go.
Lemire, I never asked how it felt to lose your head.
What would you have me say? That it tickled?
Merely curious.
If you wish to derive some satisfaction from my pain, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Kratos swung swift and true, didn't you, brother? I felt nary a scratch.
Shame.
Freya, what you said about the flaw that Hrimthur built into Asgard's wall, did he explain how it works? How do we
Be ready.
This crest belonged to Odin. A peace offering from my people. And a waste of good work. Great. Maybe you can break the chain from here as well, no? The gate's open. We can head back and get inside.
Incoming! Above you!
My garden is still...
Incoming! Back here!
Do you regret it, Mimir?
Most likely. What are we talking about in particular?
Giving up your body?
I regret exchanging my life for my freedom? That's a question I ask myself every day, my lady.
What about today?
Today? Glad to be out in the world. How else could I spend such quality time with you?
Okay, okay. The closer we get, the more tightness grows in my chest.
You're sure you want to continue?
Confronting the past comes with a price.
It must be done. I've lived with this pain far too long. If you can believe it. We were happy once. For a time, foolishly believed the peace would last. Perhaps that was my mistake. All I wanted was to protect my family.
There is no shame in that.
I failed all the same.
It's here somewhere.
Lunda's ore.
Be cautious. We know not what it does.
You really think she'd send us to get the bloody thing if it was going to kill us? Let's just take it back to her.
Interesting.
1, 2, 3. What?
Sigil arrows won't work on this. Sigil arrows won't work on this. Sigil arrows won't work on this. Those scrawlings must be Sather nearby.
Enemy behind you!
Behind you! Incoming!
Right side! Do you know why I left that night, Mimir?
Only a hunch.
He showed me who he really was. Odin asked me to cast a protection spell on him. The one I used on my son. But the way it drove our boy mad, I refused. He was furious, throwing every object he could find, destroyed the room. There was only coldness after that. I tried to make it work, but...
No one could have lived like that, Your Majesty.
Look, over there. Allow me. I never thought I'd come back here. Reavers, of course.
It's explosive! Be careful!
Brother, get up! Brother!
Reavers, of course.
It doesn't belong here! We must get rid of it! It's unstable! Get back! Got him! Outcome!
Nasty hit! You alright, brother?
Damn.
Come on, Kratos!
It's that purple poison shit.
Reaver, of course.
Watch out! It's a storm! It doesn't belong here! We must get rid of it! Outcome! It's unstable! Get back!
On your right!
Where'd it go?
On your right!
It's unstable! Get back!
I felt that one, brother.
Of course, bruh.
Kratos, off your back!
That's funny. My controller's red. Now it's white. Bro, I beat him.
Reavers, of course.
Watch out! It doesn't belong here. We must get rid of it. It's explosive. Be careful.
Behind you, brother!
Bro.
Right side, incoming! It's unstable! Get back!
Come on, bitch.
This place. It used to be sacred. Now it sits abandoned, vandalized. Hopefully the objects I'm looking for are still here. The door is shut. If memory serves, we'll need to light both of those torches to open. This is a mystic fire. Its flames are short-lived. That's it.
Alka! On your guard, Kratos!
There. I see the chalice.
Good thing you learned the runes, brother.
From the ceremony.
A symbol of reconciliation. We drank from the lover's chalice until we could hardly stand. I confided in him that night about wanting an apology from Freyr. Odin reassured me that he'd be the only family I'd need. And I believed him. I can't read that from here. Let's head back and I can take a better look.
Better now?
No. The pain only grows. Will I never be free of it? What more do I need to do? It's a denouncement from my people, placed during my wedding.
Enemy on the left!
Good show! Anything illuminating?
The word isn't complete. It's missing a piece. So much about that day I wish I could change. If only I'd seen the signs.
Behind you, brother!
on anything? Watch your right!
Behind you! Incoming! The crest of the Hewley family. One of the first families ripped apart by the war. My circlet's here. It's unstable! Get back! It's on that pedestal by the balcony!
We must remove these creatures first. It belonged to you.
A symbol of commitment. After the ceremony, he had a new one made every week, each more beautiful than the last. He stopped when I refused to teach him the old magic. You know, my people used to send me gifts too, so I wouldn't forget home. But after the birth of my son, they stopped too. The word is complete, but I still can't read it from here. Let's head back down. I thought I'd feel peace by breaking it. But I feel nothing.
Perhaps what you seek cannot be found in a circlet.
You may be right. After all the battles I've fought, why does the other side of this door scare me most?
The most difficult battles are fought within, but this battle, you will not fight alone. Are you ready?
Yes. There it is. My final tie to Asgard. We drove that sword into the pillar together. The sword was forged for the ceremony. A symbol of our union. Mona.
The stone refuses to let go.
Mona! The deepest wounds form the strongest bonds. Bastard said it as part of our vows. I hate it when he's right. Asgard holds a part of me I can't sever. I bond to my son, to the Valkyries. That damn realm isn't just Odin's. It belongs to me, too. The pain he caused is his. I refuse to keep holding on to it. This sword no longer holds our legacy. But it will serve as mine.
A much more fitting use for it.
I suppose it's on to the next battle now.
Yes. You won an important one today.
Freaking poison, dude.
Off your back. What's it say, brother?
I suppose it's on to the next battle now.
Yes. You won an important one today.
If I may.
Since when have you ever asked for permission?
It's just... I owe you my life, such as it is. And I caused you so much pain. Put you in a terrible situation. For that, Freya, I'm truly sorry.
I wanted to end that war too.
I know. I swear to do better by you nonetheless. Anything you ask, consider it done. I'm forever in your debt.
I appreciate that. Even if you can't help being an obnoxious no-no.
I'm afraid I'll never know how to stop doing that, Your Majesty.
Visual arrows won't work on Kratos, I see something.
Jesus. Fuck me, he was almost dead. Bro, I was pressing circle, man. I switched to my blade. Oh my goodness.
Come on, Kratos, get up!
Let me pull my blades out, bro. Bitch. Get out the water, ho.
So much for that boat.
An arrogant man once told me you can't change the past, only how it shapes you. I think he might be right. It's been a while since I've had a confidant. Would the god of few words lend me his ear now and again?
As long as I am needed.
Excuse me.
You know, I would have beaten you.
What?
Earlier, if Atreus hadn't been there.
Oh, hell no.
Perhaps.
We could go again, find out for certain.
I would rather not.
I'll bet you wouldn't.
I'll whoop your ass, Freya. I shit you not. I think I know how to do it now.
Sigil arrows won't work on this.
Got him.
More Sather markings. Gunhild's companions can't be that far ahead. Look what they've done to this place.
That's all Lunda's armor taken care of, as well as her odd little sphere. Should we return them to her? Anything interesting, brother?
Over there. Those are the lost Sather spirits. Friends of Gunhil.
They don't look very friendly anymore, do they?
Let us put them to rest.
We should get moving. Protect yourself!
Right side, brother!
Family crest of Kvasir the Wise. More like Kvasir the Inebriated, in truth.
I think that's the last of them.
Damn it. I knew these souls. I would have thought them smarter than to meddle with Sather magic.
They were desperate.
Oh, now they are. Good riddance.
You
Oh, I finally made it to the other side.
And
It will not lessen your pain.
let's return to Gunhil. I know you'd like to condescend more.
Above you, brother!
It's explosive! Be careful!
Good thing you learned the runes, brother.
I wish things had gone differently. But these Sather are at rest now.
Oh, it's my first heavy runic.
What did you find?
Is it done? Are they dead?
Sorry about that. I had to take a phone call.
It is done.
Your friends are at peace.
Good.
And I'm sorry. Had I been here, I would have prevented this.
Do you think us lost babes, incapable of making our own choices?
No, but
We made a mistake, but it was ours to make, not yours to prevent. Even if you had been here.
Yes, you're right. Goodbye, Gunhild.
Goodbye, my goddess.
Kratos. Thank you for taking the time to help my people.
I helped no one. They were already dead.
Oh, but you did. You put their spirits at ease, and that has eased my spirit as well. I feel lifted.
Enjoy it. It will not last.
You're right. There are most certainly other corrupted sisters out in the realms.
You always know how to end on a cheery note, brother.
I know that face. You got something for me, don't ya?
This crest. It's mine.
God, I'm missing one artifact here.
Would have been a shame to have left that behind.
Lunda.
Right. Business time.
Here.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Ellen's been itching to get her ball back all dang winter. It's her favorite toy.
What?
Now, if you can find the rest of my armor set I left out there, I'll repair it for you. Free of charge, even. Oh, actually, any dwarf can. I just didn't think you'd get my orc for me if you knew that. Sorry, y'all.